But there are some absolutes in this that we as believers can grab a hold of and should motivate us to be the people that he wants us to be. The first absolute is this: God judges sin. God judges sin. If you're an unbeliever and you make it to the tribulation that Jesus is speaking about, your sin will be judged on earth and then in eternity. And if you are an unbeliever in Jesus Christ and you die before that, you will be judged for your sin for all of eternity. God judges sin. He is holy and just. He can do no other. He is not holy if he does not judge sin. God judges sin. So, you say, well, that doesn't sound like great news. That is great news. Go tell somebody about Jesus Christ and the forgiving grace and mercy that he has. Preach the gospel. Help them run to Jesus. The second absolute is that God saves his elect no matter what. Have you ever, maybe you haven't, but I have lots of times. I think all the time, man, this whole Great Commission thing is hard, right? It's hard. It takes time. It takes energy. It takes effort. You're dealing with people who don't like you, who don't believe the things you do, who don't care what you say. This Great Commission thing is hard. And we're not doing it in the middle of the worst tribulation in the history of all the world that ever has been and ever will be. And even in that, the gospel will go forth and people will be saved because God absolutely saves his people. Absolutely, he saves them. He will do nothing else. That, again, that should motivate us to the Great Commission like nothing else, because God has his elect out there and he's telling us, go get them. Go get them. The third absolute is this: Jesus returns. We believe 1,000% in a bodily return of Jesus Christ to this earth. We'll talk next week. We cannot tell you when. We cannot tell you a date. And we're not going to try. We're not climbing on top of any buildings. We're not doing any of that. But we believe that Jesus will return. And when he returns, he will set it straight. And the fourth absolute is this: Jesus will reign. Whenever you think he comes, however many times you think he comes, whatever it is, it makes me no difference. But here's what I know: Jesus is king and he reigns forever and ever